Hey guys, Mishka here. So let's talk about getting ready for shards and raids. Shards and raids are where you get the really good gear, the +1 to +6. So I've got +5 armor, +6 weapon, same with all of my classes. So how do you get ready to do that kind of stuff, right? Because it is a big jump going from overworld content to shard dungeons and raids. Well, let's kind of break it up into segments. First thing is you're going to want to know your class particularly well. You're going to want to be level 30. Right? If you're not level 30, you are not ready to be running shards and raids. You absolutely need to be max level. And that's just to make sure that you have the health, you have the equipment level, that you are able to use all of your talents, not just some of them, that you are fully equipped, you are at the full level of your class. I like to say, imagine levels 1 through 29 as the tutorial. Level 30 is when the game truly begins. So you want to be level 30. You want to be familiar with your class mechanics, right? So if I'm a mage, I want to know, right, can I cast Fireball 2? Can I cast Frost? Can I cast Affliction? Apparently not. Right, Affliction, S method, R method. Anyway, pushback. Do you know your spells? As a ranger, right, do you know that each of these globes gives you extra damage, right? If you're going to be in a high level shard, you don't want to be the ranger that's sitting here at this range right here, right? I've got the highest level bow in the game. I'm doing, what, 15k DPS, right? Whereas if I would just scoot back a little bit and get my globes, you're going to see my damage starts ramping up, right? Stuff like that. If I'm in melee range, I'm not doing much damage, right? If I scoot back, I deal more damage. That's something you need to know. If you're a scoundrel, are you getting curved shots, right? If you're not getting curved shots, you're probably not going to be taking on high-level shards or raids. Do you know how to work with your deck of cards? Do you know what cards to burn, what cards to use, so on and so forth? Do you have a rotation? Tanks and healers absolutely need to know their rotations, right? If I'm a warrior, do I know how to provoke? Left, right, up, left, right, up. Left, right, up becomes your life, right? If you're a paladin, do you know when to use your aggro book? These are important things to know. You need to know your abilities. So that's the first thing, know your class. And if you're not sure about things on your class, there's a couple things you can do. The first thing, pull out your notebook, your journal, go to the sword, flip a couple pages, and you get into your abilities tab. That's important. Look at that. Second thing, the I tab here. You've got class mechanics here, right? So warrior, and it'll tell you things that you can do with your warrior, right? Just small little details. There's a lot of things that people don't necessarily know or they haven't learned because they don't know to look for those things. Know your mechanics. If you need to know more mechanics, watch my videos. If you're a scoundrel, watch Scott's video, watch Lava Whale's video. That's important. Know your mechanics, know your class. So that's the first big one, right? You're level 30, you know your class, cool. Let's say that you know what you're doing. You're a pro at your class, right? You know all the mechanics. You've hung out with all the best players, all the knowledgeable players. You know what you're doing. Cool. Let's say you want to go do a shard dungeon. We want to do a shard level 1 for a sewer dungeon. Awesome. How do you prepare for that? Well, first thing, you're going to want to do a sewer uncharted, right? You want to know what you're going up against. So run through the dungeon uncharted. Get a group together or join the dungeon queue, right? Activities, dungeons, join queue, sign up as your role. Please don't sign up for a role you're not going to do. Join the dungeon queue, go through the dungeons. The dungeon queue will cycle through the 4 dungeons in High Step, the airship, broken halls, crypt, and sewer. And that's uncharted. That's a normal dungeon where everything is level scaled. That's a great way to learn the mechanics. And if you're not sure what the mechanics are, hop into the dungeon queue anyway, join in, and when you get into a dungeon, go, hey guys, this is my first dungeon. This is my first time going through this dungeon. I'm not familiar with the mechanics. Can somebody explain it? 9 times out of 10, somebody's going to be more than happy to explain the mechanics to you. If you're a little shy, if you don't want to, admit that you're not sure what you're doing, that's fine. I've got plenty of videos. I think I've got a video on every single dungeon in the game. So you can watch those, and I explain the mechanics there. There are the 2 dungeons outside of High Step. There's the Mines and the Wastelands, and the Temple and Holdings Basin. Those aren't in the dungeon queue, but again, I have videos on those. If you get the opportunity to, try to get in touch with some of the major guilds. Elysium, Thrive, Virus, Rebels, Carnage, they all run shards fairly regularly. And I know that for the most part, a lot of them are more than happy to bring in players that are just getting into endgame and are looking at doing shards. Or if you just ask around town, if you say, hey, I want to do a shard level 1, anybody in? And high step, more than enough people will. There's almost always people that are happy to do that. I'm going to take a quick peek outside. I'm staying inside so that I don't get bombarded while recording. Let's jump outside real fast, see how many people are on high step. At this point.
Ah, there's a famous guy.
Yes, step out immediately. So we have 81 people in high step right now between the two shards.
What's up, man?
That is left before I could say hi. I feel bad now. Hello, whoever it was. If you watched this video, just know I wanted to say hi. So 81 people. The odds of you finding 5 people that want to do a shard are very high. So yeah, just let them know that you want to do a shard. When it comes to raids, there's no way that you can do an unsharded raid or whatever. There's normal mode raid and there's hard mode raid. The raids are going to be difficult. I highly recommend joining in with one of the established guilds doing a raid. They'll know what they're doing. Most guilds require a lot of teamwork, and if you're with a guild that knows what they're doing and you mess up, that's fine. They'll be able to help you learn. You will make mistakes on your first run-throughs of shards and raids. That's perfectly fine. That's normal. That's expected. That's why I recommend getting in with an established group or a high-level group of players. That way they can help you learn, and your mistakes won't really affect the entire party. Knowing what potions to use, I actually just released a video about which potions you should use for each class and how they help. I'll be releasing PDFs going over each class and how to use them for endgame. We discussed how to get ready for shards. We discussed how to get ready for raids. I believe that's pretty much everything. But yeah, always feel free to ask questions, especially of the higher level players. Don't be afraid to communicate. This game has a great community. We're all here to help each other. So yeah, if you want to learn, the information is out there. But like I said, for shard dungeons, start with uncharted dungeons and then work your way up the ladder. There's 15 tiers of shards except for airship. Airship caps out at level 10. Just work your way up. Start with uncharted, do a level 1, then do a level 2 or 3, and you'll make your way up. You'll get there, I promise. It takes time and it takes effort, but it's worth it and it's a lot of fun. So that's how to prepare for shards. That's how to prepare for raids. And again, I have videos on pretty much everything explaining all the mechanics if you need to know them, or if you'd like to know them ahead of time or at least prepare. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, if you have any suggestions for videos, let me know either in the comments or in a private message here or in Discord. I don't really care. Anywhere. I'm everywhere. I'm more than happy to help. So best of luck to you. And as always, happy hunting.